welcome to the stage, all the way from England, Mr. Russell
People of New Zealand. I put these tickets on sale 3 years ago. Lots happened in 3 years. Corona was a beer. Harry was a prince. And having a wet-ass pussy was an entirely different thing back then. You'd call a doctor. You wouldn't sing about it.
Now, you're probably wondering, how am I on stage in front of thousands during a pandemic? Don't worry, this isn't a Rita Ora party. Let me explain. My job is to stand on stage and make people laugh. But when COVID cancelled my world tour,
Try me old Joe Wicks.
fair to say I slightly unravelled.
Spit star jumping, do you? I'm jumping.
Oh.
Makes making a cup of tea a bit more fun, doesn't it?
But then I was invited to perform in beautiful, far distant lands where COVID's been conquered and comedians can do stand-up in front of real people with no social distancing. I'm talking New Zealand and Australia.
Arch, I'm off.
A land free of masks and full of adventures.
But here in New Zealand, we like to get down and dirty.
I'd get drunk with their heroes, swap pleasantries with the locals,
Convenient. We've been convenient to kick his head in.
and make a tit out of myself.
I'm trying to do it, it's just so cold.
Copy, mate.
Meeting some of the eccentric and wonderful people who make our world so special.
Mine's my third coffin. Yeah.
You've got 3 coffins.
Then write a brand new show about my experiences and share it across the land.
Yes, Melbourne, yes.
It's going to be absolutely epic.
I'm not getting sexually abused by Bigfoot.
So come on, let's go down under.
Let's not do that again. What an absolute joy!
My adventure began in Auckland, renowned for its stunning scenery and vibrant outdoor life, where the people roam free, mainly because of the way Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern dealt with COVID.
We have moved to fight by going hard and going early.
You elected a competent leader. We elected a man who's part Theosaurus, part alpaca. Whenever there's a COVID outbreak, she knows where it is. She locates it. It's up north, shut it down. Boris doesn't know how many kids he's got.
But getting into paradise comes with a catch. Everyone who comes here, even comedians, has to spend 2 weeks locked in a hotel room on their own for 23.5 hours a day.
It's so funny when you arrive in New Zealand, you're trying to look as sort of healthy as possible. And the army are there. And this is how lovely your army are. This guy goes, you're going to be in a hotel for 2 weeks. Do you know about that? And you're like, yes. And then he said, are you worried about your mental health? And you have to lie. Because you can't go, yeah, I'm a bit, yeah. I think I'm going to go mad and wank like a gibbon. You know? You can't say that because you don't want that on a form, you know?
Barbara, we've got a masturbation risk over here.
So, I'm here. This is my home for the next 2 weeks. I've got loads of rules. There's people outside doing their exercise. You're allowed to do that 40 minutes per day. You're allowed to walk in a circle for 40 minutes. Oh, fucking hell. That's all you can do. You're allowed 45 minutes of outside, walking in a circle. Don't laugh. When you've got nothing, that is everything. You have no idea. You're like, this is living, look at me. I've invented a new word. I'm bored and tired. I'm bired. I am so deeply bired. My mum, she got me through. She was like, is it like prison? I went, not really, no, I haven't been shanked. And she was like,
Well, when I'm feeling low, Russ, I always think it could be worse. You could be a woodpecker.
I was like, go on, mother.
She's like, well, think about it, darling. Whenever they're hungry, they've got to headbutt a tree. So think about that. Bye, and hung up. That was it.
Just made a horrific discovery. And that is, you're not allowed in the gym. So I'm gonna run from the door to the edge of the bed.
And they bring you food, and you're very excited. And thank you, master, for me.
Well, then, what's this? That looks all right. You're meant to eat it with a plate, but I eat my slop straight out of the pot. Fuck, I'm bored.
I'd have taken any drug at that point. I'd have done ketamine, weed, PCP, angel dust, ayahuasca, the lot. I would have sprinkled it on my food and I would have gone about my day. And that is a cookery show I think we'd all watch. Just Mary Berry just loading a cake full of cocaine like that.
It tastes like Bob Marley's soul.
You know, just fucking licking Paul Hollywood.
We've just had a package arrive. They've given us a little present, which is Pascal pineapple lumps. Mmm.
To be honest, where I'm from, pineapple lumps sound like a disease. Do you know what I mean? Doctor, I got pineapple lumps. It's all over my Tim Tams. And then you bite one and you're like, fucking hell.
Wow.
And then an hour later, you're like, let's try one more. And before you know it, you're covered in pineapple and chocolate, and you're addicted to those filthy, filthy things.
It's a bit of a state. That's where the magic happens. Do you want to see the area where I prepare my food? Oh, man. I'm sorry. I'm a dirty, dirty, dirty boy.
I'm not gonna stand here in front of you and say there weren't times during the isolation hotel when I didn't go crazy.
Look at these two. At least you've got each other, guys. Do you reckon they look like that because they've been watching me masturbate for 2 weeks?
Please let us out.
This is how wonderful your sense of humour is, how deliciously dry it is. There was a knock at the door. It was an invitation to a quiz. Everyone in the hotel could take part in this quiz. Do you know what the #1 prize was? An extra night stay at the hotel.
Just had the result of my final COVID test. Negative. Which means I'm allowed out.
Freedom at last. Now to meet my Kiwi crew who are going to be my guide for the next few weeks.
We shaking?
It's almost like I haven't shaken anyone's hand for a year.
Hello. Hey, man. I don't think I've ever been greeted by this many people when I've left the hotel.
It's only when you travel to a place without COVID that you realise just how strange our lives have become.
It's so wild just to see people out and about, just enjoying their lunch break in the sun. It's just a Tuesday lunchtime, and everyone's just out. That guy just swore at the camera. What a world. Fantastic. Hello. Oh, how you doing? What's it like being free? Nice. What should I do in New Zealand? Cricket. Like, it's so weird. And also now it's beginning to look creepy because essentially you're filming a 40-year-old man watching kids exercise, so we need a bounce. But this is paradise. Where do you stand on pineapple lumps?
I'm not a pineapple lump guy.
You can go for a coffee, you can go to the pub.
Oh, Jesus.
You can have a massage.
It's not that deep.
You don't realise how powerful you are.
I could hug every single one of you and it wouldn't be dangerous. Be creepy. Imagine that.
I'm not allowed to do this at home.
My adventure in New Zealand had begun. Next, I go fishing with Jacinda Ardern's partner.
And I got another one. Did you get one? No?
No.
And leap off a pier with some kids.
Don't pin drop.
Trolley's done.
Yeah.
Trolley. Right, Jesus Christ.
But first, I need to find some pineapple lumps quick. I'm in Auckland, and I'm up at the crack of dawn to find out more about New Zealand's popular Prime Minister. I've had a special invitation from someone who knows her better than anyone.
There's a cockerel crowing, and we're going to go fishing, but we're going fishing with New Zealand's first man. We're meeting Clark Gayford, who is actually the partner of Jacinda Ardern. Very exciting.
Jacinda stood in front of you and went fucking in.
All right, yeah.
I'm announcing an alert system for COVID-19.
And then you came outside, and everything was better. And my favourite thing was all the livid boomers, furious that she got it right. Just fucking, fair enough. Clark's been a reality star, a DJ, a freediver, a spearfisher, and he's an award-winning TV presenter.
And here he is. Hey, Clark.
Good morning.
Morning,
How are you?
mate. Thanks for having us.
He invited me. That's how friendly you are. That wouldn't happen in any other country. Imagine going to America and Melania's, would you like to go scuba diving?
You bring some beers?
No.
No, God. Well, let's go.
Beers? It's 5:30 in the morning, you maniac.
Now, you know how to handle a fishing rod?
Yeah, pretty much.
When I say we went fishing, he
we go.
caught fish, and I watched him catch fish.
There's fish there as soon as you get it to the bottom. Then you snap it.
He was like, and the fish were like, I love you.
And I got another one. Slightly bigger.
Clark's caught another one. That's like 3 in a minute now.
It's like being in a nightclub with Chris Hemsworth. Do you know what I mean?
I am also a man.
Did you get one? No?
No.
No, you're going to wind it and try again?
What's so extraordinary? He's such a normal bloke, and she's such a normal lady, and they're going to get married, and they've got that to worry about whilst dealing with COVID in the country. It's incredible, you know?
My God, the detail that goes into planning a wedding.
Yeah. I know. Who's time for that?
Have you selected your best man?
No, none of
Do you
that.
know who it is?
No, not really.
I was talking to Clark about it. I was like, have you sorted anything out? And he's like, no. Have you got a best man? Nope. Have you picked out your first dance? Nope.
These finer details haven't been discussed. Are you married?
Yeah, I got married 2019.
Right.
But the dance was the most stressful bit for me.
Is this something that you rehearsed and practiced?
No.
No.
No, but I hung on to her like a dog, mate. You know that thing, my wife was just dancing around. So weird, doing stand-up, no nerves whatsoever.
The first
dance
dance
in front of all my mates. Fuck, it was embarrassing.
Were you kind of like, you know, that boxer after 9 rounds and he's just...
It was exactly like that. I rope-a-dope. I rope-a-dope my wife, yeah.
While I was wrestling my wife, Clark's missus was grappling with bigger issues.
So Jacinda Ardern's done an amazing job during COVID. Why do you think you were so successful as a country?
We've got really good community connections. You are likely to know your neighbour or someone on your street, and you weren't worried about COVID for yourself, but you do it because you had an asthmatic auntie or an elderly neighbour that if they got it, they'd be in trouble.
Yeah.
So Kiwis are lovely, but what makes them laugh?
Enjoy the rest of your time here.
Before my first gig, I met up with multi-award-winning Kiwi stand-up Nick Rado to try and figure it out.
You smell great.
Oh, thank you, mate. This is, New Zealand deodorant. This is stock standard. They give it to us.
It smells nice, man.
Yeah. It's,
So you've been doing gigs?
Yes, yeah. Just what you're smelling there is just called normacy.
Have you got any tips for entertaining the New Zealand?
So the New Zealand crowd, they'll start with their arms folded.
Nice, British reaction.
Yes, whatever. And then once you get them, they'll drop their arms a bit.
Yeah. So that is expected.
Yes.
That's
You've
ripping
got
it.
him. You've got him. You've got him. That's a standing ovation.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, think about an encore after that.
Okay, so I just got to watch the hands.
Yeah.
Nick also told me that Kiwis don't heckle. That is bollocks.
Hark, fair Juliet speaks. Have I ever put a hamster in a condom and put it up my bum? It's your commitment to safety that I like. You don't want to get pregnant. No, I wouldn't do that. No, I've got allergies. Imagine if, if you forgot, and you were queuing up, trying to get into New Zealand. You're going through customs like that, and the gerbil wakes up. Fucking hell, Jesus. No, I've brought no fruit in, nothing, no.
Now, we all know Kiwis love outdoor sports. Bungee jumping, jet boating, parachuting, rafting. But my crew wanted to show me one you might not have heard of.
This is a wharf where kids do manus.
What's a Manu?
A manu is like a bomb, like a water bomb, but bigger.
Everything is a little bit cooler. Do you know what I mean? In England, bombing. Here, Manu.
And we're going to meet some Manu maniacs.
These are apparently the best manu maniacs in New Zealand.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow, I just heard a Manu. I've not seen it, but it sounded like, when your uncle has a particularly big shit. There was a real... Listen. They look like big lads.
Xavier.
Xavier? Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Rowdy.
I'm Rowdy, nice to meet you, pal. Can I see you do one? Is that all right?
Now, I know what you're thinking. That is a bomb. But there's a lot more going on. The aim is to enter the water in a V shape, bum first, then push back hard with the upper body to force the water up into an impressive wave.
So you're trying to basically go like that?
Yeah, just make a V. So pretty much this is your body, and then you just roll back.
Yeah. Does it not hurt though? No?
You land it right, bro, get the right ratio, everything will be...
What if you don't land it right?
We'll call an ambulance.
An ambulance?
And none of you seem to scream when you get in. Because it looks freezing.
Nah, it's warm, bro. It's like a cup of tea in there.
Now, I don't feel ready to Manu from 20 feet up, so I'm going to start on the nursery steps.
I've got to check how cold it is first.
Oh, no.
You just jump, bro. Just jump, bro. Do it, bro.
Just don't down.
I'm trying to do it. It's just so cold. I'm like there, all English and fucking pale. Could we, do this gradually? Could I go off of lower? Could I... a lower bit? You know those steps down there that are barely out of the ocean? Could I... Manu off of them? I suppose you could do, bro, but you'd look pretty fucking stupid.
3, 2, 1.
Fuck me, that's cold.
Oh, real? Straight on.
Oh, it's just fun, though, eh?
Yeah.
I get it instantly.
Having conquered the jump from the third step, it's time to join the big boys.
This is fucking deep.
Yeah, I know. You got this. It's real deep.
But not only am I scared, I'm paranoid.
You alright? Fucking hell. What do you have behind me there? What I loved about it, they were so kind. They looked after me, right? Because one of them went behind me and I was like, fuck off! And he was like, mate, I would never do that. Why would I throw you in? That's not the code.
It's the number one rule, no pushing.
Is that right?
It's the number one rule, no pushing.
What a beautiful country. That was England. Straight away, you'd have a little weasel who looks like me. He's going, go behind him. I'm on it, Dave. Don't worry about it. I don't know, though. It's so deep. If I just went in like that, that's probably the safest way, isn't it? No?
Nah, because it depends what's under there. We've checked a couple of meters, but
Don't pin drop. There's trolleys down there.
Yeah. Trolleys? Right, Jesus Christ. It took me so long. They were just jumping in and jumping out and jumping in. And I'm like...
I finally take the plunge. Look at me.
Woo!
It's like a turd slipping off a spade.
Good start, good start, good start.
It looks even worse in slow-mo.
Jesus Christ.
Over it.
It's just...
It's over it.
So high.
Well done.
Now fully baptised in the ways of the Kiwi, I'm off to get pissed with a New Zealand legend.
You ever been to Malaga? You ever been to Malaga?
I'm touring New Zealand, a COVID-free paradise, and whilst en route to the South Island, I spot something magical.
So I need a name for my butcher shop. Shall I call it the Jolly Butchers, the Happy Butcher, the Plentiful Butcher? No. Fucking Mad Butcher. No other country's thought to combine meat and insanity. Organic butcher, friendly butcher, fucking mad, mate! That's what you want, isn't it? Madness. I should be in jail, mate! How do you like your steaks? He's got a catchphrase as well. What's that say?
You can't beat the butcher's meat.
The Central Otago region is world famous for its wines. It's also home to a Hollywood A-lister.
I hung out with Sam Neill. Yeah. I know. Amazing.
The star of Jurassic Park, The Piano, and Hunt for the Wilder People has chosen the simple life in the Kiwi countryside over a mansion in the Hollywood Hills. And he's invited me to his 150-acre lavender farm and vineyard just to hang out.
Hello, mate.
Russell?
I feel I'll greet you there. Nice to meet you.
Good to see you.
It's nice to feel a human being.
It is.
Such a lovely man, just a genuine, beautiful soul. It was like hanging out with a village elder.
I want you to wear this hat because you're pale, you're English.
Yes.
And I don't want you to crisp up.
Let's
Come on,
get
let's
out
go
there.
go and have a walk.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. It's like something out of Willy Wonka.
Well, it looks like a sort of illegal gin still, doesn't it?
I did some lavender pressing with Sam. I'd never pressed lavender before.
Look at this. This is toys for boys.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, immaculate.
That's lovely. It's one of those as well, lavender. Like, it's... one sniff isn't enough.
There's also 38 different types of lavender in there. There's French lavenders and English lavender.
And what's the difference between the English lavender and the French?
The English lavender is more modest looking.
Right.
And paler.
Is that right? And the French lavender can't fight.
The French lavender is more obvious. English lavender is more subtle.
Really?
Yeah.
Even after Brexit, that hasn't changed? Is the English lavender not a bit more like, it's just a fucking lavender, mate? You do not understand the ways of the lavender. Oh. I feel it would be remiss of us not to explain the name of your dog on camera.
There's an important expression in New Zealand to say, I'm really happy, I'm really pleased, I'm really pumped. You say, I'm really chuffed. I'm so chuffed.
Chuffed a bit.
So the dog, who is new, is called Chuff. And then I got a thing on social media that Chuff means something else in Yorkshire.
It does?
Oh, Lordy.
Yeah, Chuff, it's fine. It's fine here, isn't it? It's fine. Hey, Chuff! Chuff! Chuff in England is another word for vagina. I mean, I look forward to the day that Sam travels across to England. Man, he loses his dog in a park.
Chuff, come here! Chuff! You're a bad dog. Now get up.
he let me massage his pig. Which is not a euphemism.
There you go. Oh,
Oh, good
well
catch. He loves a good massage, too.
He's got a big pig. And he's like, do you want to give it a rub? Well, I've never really thought about it, to be honest.
Is there a specific way to do it, Sam?
Oh, he'd probably, yeah.
I want to really get under the kinks,
loves
you know?
that. Yeah, just, you know, dig in.
Yeah. Oh, the noises I was getting out of this thing. I was there for half an hour.
So, no, that noise is pleasure.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
OK. Oh, there you go.
Oh, yes. Do it to me, Russell.
It's absolutely lovely. Well, who knew this was my thing, but it's really enjoyable.
It's like, he's like, all right, Russ, I think he's had enough now. Come on. One more, Sam, one more.
Oh, jeez. My fingers smell like pork scratchings. I've got this lovely mix of lavender and bacon in my hands. It smells joyous. Have you always been an animal fan?
Yeah.
What would be your dream beast to have here?
Oh. Yeah, I'd kind of like llamas because they show such contempt, you know. They spit on you.
They do.
Yeah.
And he's got a vineyard, and he owns that vineyard. Have you ever hung out with someone that owns a shit ton of wine?
Just try some Riesling.
These would be an absolute nightmare for a dishwasher. My wife goes absolutely apeshit if I drink wine from her mug. Where'd you stand on that?
I'm with your wife. Okay. Yeah, please
Your
don't
what?
do that. Yeah.
And then he was like, should we just get pissed? So that's what we did.
Have you ever done Drunk History?
I love that show. It's
Yeah,
the best.
they get them hammered and then
Yeah.
try and retell history.
What would you talk about? What era of history?
1066, I think, because they omit so many fascinating things. There's 93 penises in the Bayeux Tapestry. Surely tell kids about that.
What an amazing history lesson that would be. Can you think of a weirder job for those loomers? Those weavers? You want me to what? 93 dicks? Fucking hell, no wonder they lost. And what's lovely, now that you've heard that, if you ever find yourself in front of the Bayeux Tapestry, for want of another phrase, you're going to be playing Where's Willie?
Oh, that's delicious.
So this is called the Fusilier. It's named after my father.
Right.
He was a Fusilier.
Right.
For 20 years.
He was just holding the wine like that. And I'm holding mine like that. And then stories started pouring from me. Just anecdote after anecdote flew out of him, you know?
And my father was like a lot of men his generation. He'd stare off into the distance a lot. You think, what's he thinking about? What's he... Anyway, we'd come up to this part of the country.
Right.
To go camping and fishing when we were kids. We were just sitting there in silence. He was staring off to the distance. And then he turned to me and he said, you know, my boy, there are just a few moments in your life that you will remember. And this is one of them. And I always treasure that, you know.
And did you have that kind of relationship with your dad? Like where there were sort of stories being told?
My parents were very English. Right. You'd understand this. Right, so they were very affectionate with their animals, with their damn dogs. But, you know, we didn't get a lot of physical affection. I'd shake hands with my father and, good night, Dad. Good night, old boy.
I remember when I was probably about 8, my dad used to kiss me goodnight and say, I love you.
Yeah.
And he said, I think it's about time this stopped. Do you know what I mean? And I remember looking at him and going, I think you're right.
That's
really Do you know what I mean? But that real sense of like, come on, otherwise you're going to grow up weird.
Yeah.
Lights out. It's funny that you sort of remember those little things.
Yeah.
You know when loved ones who have gone come back and go, hello. My granddad does that to me all the time. He died 5 years ago, but every so often he just arrives. I remember I'm about 7, I'm eating some toast in his house. And he walks in and goes, I reckon I could walk on my hands from London to Edinburgh. And I was like,
amazing. You gonna do it?
And he looked at me and went, oh, he wouldn't give them this satisfaction.
Wine is more than just alcohol. It's more than a gin and some flavour. I think it's about conviviality. I mean, in this glass, for me, is history that goes back beyond the Romans.
I don't know if you get that with beer. Do you know what I mean? Fucking hell. Do you know what I mean? You ever been to Malaga? You ever been to Malaga? You know, there isn't that same... It unlocks different stories.
During lockdown, Sam became a bit of an online legend with his videos and poems.
Sir Gerald? Sir Gerald? Oh. I think he stopped talking to me.
As he's such a social media expert, I thought I'd get his advice on something that's happened to me.
Here's a question for you. There was a young lady on TikTok, and she was listing various British celebrities and how many shots of alcohol it would take before she slept with them, which all of my cousins showed me. They were delighted. Just imagine, Sam, you know, you're a young lady. How many shots do you reckon it would take, you know, for you to have sex with me?
So I'm just putting myself in her shoes as opposed to how many shots I would have to drink to sleep with you.
True. She's a lovely image already.
All right, so I'm going to say she's putting it at 8 shots.
You're correct, yeah.
I got it right.
That's the end of the day.
Unbelievable. Son of a bitch. Next up, some perfect pensioners with an amazing attitude to death.
Oh, it's nice and comfy, Janice.
I don't give a shit. If it's comfy or not, it won't make any difference.
That is a good point, actually, yeah.
I'm touring wondrous New Zealand with a Kiwi crew as my guide.
Oh, I'm Russell Howard, isn't it? Can I have a Diet Coke?
Our director Matt is from Christchurch, a city devastated by earthquakes a decade ago. But from the rubble came some inventive ways to cheer up the locals, especially his mum.
Every time I come back to visit, she'll pick me up from the airport.
Yeah.
But Mum always somehow ends up taking me into Christchurch. I'm like, Mum, I know where you're taking me. In the middle of this empty lot, it's a dance mat that was put there post-earthquake. You got a $2 coin, put it in like a laundry machine that they've converted into a speaker system.
Yeah.
And then you just have it done.
So whenever you see your mum again, you and her go for a dance in the street?
Yeah.
Like Mick Jagger and Bowie?
Yeah, that's it.
So this is where your mum would take you?
Yeah.
This looks like the kind of place that somebody would take you to be killed. It seems bleak, man. I don't know what I had in my mind. I had something really joyous. So how does it work? We pop $2 in. I can't dance, man. I wish I had that skill. No. Oh, I'm like a newborn pony, you know that kind of... Can I film you dancing? I can see the light that we used to see. Like if two women just pop their handbags down and start dancing, pretty soon a crowd grows, an atmosphere is created. No man has that story. If me and my brother went into the middle of a pub and just dropped our bags and started going like that. You're not going to get a group of women going, fucking hell! Sandra, look, 2 brothers! Do you reckon they're going to fuck each other?
OK, clearly I'm an uptight Brit who has issues letting go.
It's not really a dance song, but yeah.
The Kiwis, on the other hand, have no problem speaking their minds. None more so than this lady. Her straight talking inadvertently made her a viral sensation.
Karen, 20 whacks. Does anyone know her? She's apparently a Kiwi viral sensation because somebody owed her $20 and she rang that person up and said, if you don't pay me those $20, you're going to get 20 fucking whacks. And instead of calling her friend, apparently she rang a local radio station and they put it on the radio and it blew up.
Hello, this is Karen. Rachel thinks she can ignore me and hide from me for her 20 lousy dollars. Well, I tell you what, I'll get my $20 or she's going to get 20 fucking whacks. 20 fucking whacks.
She became a massive star. And I thought, well, she sounds fun. So I hung out with her.
I was very scared about meeting you.
Most people are.
Yeah. Like, meeting you now, you've got very kind eyes. You don't look like you'd give 20 whacks.
No, I wouldn't.
And my brother owes me 100 quid, so I got her to leave a message.
This is a message for Russell. He wants his £100 fucking pound. You better pay that money or he's gonna fly me over to get that 100 fucking quid. If I get flown over where there's more COVID than in my country, you're gonna get 20 fucking whacks.
And another 80.
And another fucking 80.
Yeah.
A pound a whack. You fucking wanker, pay up.
She is a deliciously foul-mouthed lady.
And where better to take a potty-mouthed lady than punting on a river?
It's quite cruisy, isn't it?
She's absolutely lovely. It feels like we're a young couple, Karen. We just got married. We've had a really full-on wedding night.
She's obsessed with the royal family. She was so intrigued by Prince Andrew.
Did you see the interview?
Yeah, he denied it. And, you know, you just go and cohort and stay at a paedophile's house because it was convenient.
Yeah.
Convenient. We've been convenient to kick his head in. Cut his cock off and his balls.
That's why Prince Andrew should have done an interview with you.
Yeah, bloody oath he should have, and he wouldn't have got away with much either.
So I'll be Prince Andrew, you be you. Let's have the chat.
We did this sort of fake interview where I pretended to be Andrew. She's like, what the fuck were you doing there, mate? I was like, it's not actually me.
Why the hell are you going to fucking Jeffrey's house?
Oh, well, you know, there was nowhere else to stay.
Excuse me? With all your fucking money? Entourage and bloody fucking bullshit. How many people did you take with you to Jeffrey's?
Why are you going around Epstein's? I'll cut your fucking dick off. That was it. She said, I'll cut your fucking dick off whilst we were punting. People know who I am. The look of confusion on this boat that went past us. Is that Russell Howard and 20 whacks Karen? What has he said?
Andrew, gotta get a grip on reality, you know, because as far as I'm concerned, you lay down in a bed with dogs, you get up with fleas.
Thanks.
Is that how they say it?
No, I've never heard that phrase.
Lay down
with
with dogs, you will get fleas.
But I like that. I feel like I've really got under the skin of New Zealand with you. I've really enjoyed that.
Any free tickets to your show?
Yeah.
It's been a magnificent time. That's been the big thing. It's been people. It's always the way with me. You just bump into beautiful souls. My favourite happened in a place called the Coffin Club. I didn't know what a coffin club was. The clue was in the name. It was a club full of people that made coffins. It turns out it's a group of retired pensioners.
How are you? It's John, isn't it?
John.
Nice to meet you.
And they make them so that they're really cheap for other people who can't afford coffins. It's beautiful.
When my wife died, I paid $2,800 for her coffin, and I made mine here for $380.
Right. So the reason behind it is to save money.
Yeah. We're all volunteers.
Yeah, but is it not a bit morbid?
No. Well, I mean, hey, look, we're all going to need a box.
We are.
So that's the bottom line.
Like, have you designed your own coffin?
Oh, yeah, I've got mine at home, yeah.
These are empty, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, a few.
So this one here is 700, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it really gives me the willies, John.
No, well, you know, you get over it, eh?
Yeah, I guess so.
Everyone's going to need one.
And they're really smiley and happy. They're like funeral elves. They're just there, they really enjoy their work, and they make coffins for themselves.
So this is your coffin?
Yes.
It's very vibrant. I like it.
I know.
It's a beautiful colour. Yellow, yellow. Does it not freak you out making your own coffin?
It's only a box.
Yeah.
Once I jump in it, it's a coffin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's nice and comfy, Janice.
I don't give a shit. If it's comfy or not, it won't make any difference.
That is a good point,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah. Hey, nice to meet you. I'm Russell. So what happens here then, ladies?
This is where we do the lining of the coffins in here.
Yeah. They've got a real era of sort of Elizabethan ladies' dress.
They have, haven't they?
Do you know
You're
what I mean?
absolutely right.
Very kind of frilly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like them.
Mine's my third coffin.
You've got 3 coffins?
She didn't fit the first one. No, the first one was this coffin shape.
Yeah.
And so then I decided, no, I don't like that. So that's been sold. And then I decided to have a pink one. So that's out the front there, but it's too shallow.
Oh, really?
Too fat for it.
What happened there? So were you just... Yeah?
No, we didn't measure properly.
Right. I mean, again, it would be a funny funeral. It's just broken up like that, yeah. And she was laughing. She goes, that'll make the funeral weird, won't it? Everyone's just trying to keep the lid down like that.
And my mattress, I shredded all my receipts for a year and filled up this big...
Yeah. What was the thinking behind that?
It's cheap. Why not?
I thought there was going to be like a big story. That's just cheap. It's just easier that way. There's something about particularly old ladies. They have an ability to demystify death. They're incredible with it. You know, my nan was like that. My nan, by the end, she was like, every time you go around, they go, "You all right, Nan?"
I'm ready to go now. Joey, I cannot wait, if I'm honest.
Like, do you want a cake?
Is there cyanide in it, Russ?
Her last words were,
"Finally."
She had a brilliant attitude to death. She wasn't fazed by it. I remember we buried our dog. My mum goes, "Who would like to say goodbye to Bonnie?" And my nan went, "Oh, oh!"
And all the baby coffins across there, we do
They're heartbreaking to see those,
are,
aren't they?
Definitely. They are.
I don't know, how are you able to kind of compartmentalise yourself?
Well, you just have to make them as pretty as you possibly can.
Yeah.
And that's how we do it. We donate those all to the
It's all donated.
Yeah. Yeah, they really stay with you, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. It is one of the saddest things you'll ever see. Instantly, your eyes tear up, right? They were all frilly, they were beautiful, they were horrific and magnificent. It's really interesting being here today. You realise the importance of the send-off, you know?
Yeah, however you want it. However you want it. Yes. Yeah.
You were like, well, what do you mean?
Well, no. I've told my kids just chuck the coffin on the back of a truck and take it down to the crematorium and get rid of it.
But that's yours. Do you see what I mean? As in, but you've had that conversation with your kids.
Yeah.
So it's they know exactly.
Yeah, they can have a party later on.
Right, and that's like, well, I know what Mum wants. I think you guys have got it cracked, really. That you're sort of trying to demystify death.
Absolutely.
That's kind of what it feels like here.
It helps us too, I tell you.
Does it?
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Why? How does it help?
It's no longer scary. No longer scary thing. No, not any longer. It used to be.
Yeah.
But it's not now.
I was like, how do you do this? She went, I do it so that nobody has to think about doing it. That's been the intriguing thing about this, spending time with people. If you try and connect with humanity through social media, it's difficult to be in love with it, right? You know, just all this, I'm an introvert, and yet you said that out loud. Being in amongst you, just being free, you're reminded of the excellence of humanity, you know? Never forget, New Zealand, that when the world is tearing itself apart, there's a little twinkly-eyed lady making coffins for babies so nobody has to think about it. Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Next time, I get overexcited in Wellington.
My nipples are already out.
Mine too.
Steamy in Rotorua.
Oh, she's hot, isn't she?
And something weird happens up a mountain.
You've just got a condom out?
Yeah.
As my New Zealand adventure continues.
Whoa, mother of Christ!